Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop for another special episode of Tool Tuesday. And today's episode is about a very special collaboration between two iconic American manufacturers, one being the Starrett company and the second being Gerstner USA. We have this beautiful chest in front of us here that was built by Gerstner for Starrett in celebration of Gerstner's 120th anniversary coming up next year. It's amazing to think that they were founded in 1906 out of Dayton, Ohio. They're still in their original location, and they're still handcrafting, hand building beautiful wooden chests, all different sizes and types of wooden chests. And years ago, I believe back in around the 1950s and into the 60s, Starrett had contracted Gerstner to build a tool chest for them to put in their catalog, and that was the number 200. Some of you guys might have seen a few of these chests floating around out there. Sometimes you see them on eBay, you know, and there's some collectors that's got some. I personally have never seen one until this one right here. What we have in front of me is a replica of that number 200 chest that Gerstner used to make a long time ago. And they are coming back with the same model chest, now called the number 200 WCR. And this is going to be a very limited edition box for their 120th anniversary, for Gerstner's 120th anniversary. And so Starrett is having Gerstner build 120 of these chests to be built and shipped out, I believe, early spring 2026. And again, like I said, this is a really wonderful collaboration between these two companies. They have a long-standing partnership working together over the years. And in fact, you know, myself, I have been fortunate enough to get to work personally one-on-one with both of these companies, both Starrett and Gerstner. We have wonderful factory tours on the YouTube channel there of going through the Gerstner plant in Dayton, Ohio, showing how they build their chest and restoring one of my personal Gerstner chests. And we also have a few factory tour videos of our visit up in Starrett, up in Athol, Massachusetts. That was from a couple summers back that we went up there. Both wonderful companies. They both hold a special place in my heart because of the tools that they create. Starrett, my granddad has been an owner. He was an owner of Starrett tools and had many of them in his toolbox that my dad used, that now I use. And you know, they're the only precision tool makers still left in the country making precision tools. They make over 5,000 different precision tools, all kinds of gauges and micrometers and calipers, and 5,000 different tools they still make today up in Athol, Massachusetts. I was asked by Starrett and Gerstner if I would like to join them in this collaboration. And in doing so, Starrett offered to gift me one of these chests, which is what you see right here. This particular chest is number 3 of 3 samples that Gerstner has made for Starrett to prove the concept, prove the prototype, which is what this is. And so a huge thank you to Starrett for offering to give me this chest. This is truly one of a kind here. We'll get some video in there and show you what the inside looks like. They have it numbered in there. It says sample. Just like every Gerstner chest that's built, the US version of the Gerstner chest, we'll show you this underneath the bottom drawer there. If you pull it out, you'll see where they hand stamp every one of them, and there's usually some handwritten numbers and things like that in there. And that's always one of the really fun Easter eggs to look for. Anytime you're out and about in the wild and you find a Gerstner chest, you have to pull the lower drawer out, and you have to verify that it is a true Gerstner & Sons chest. And sometimes you will find a handwritten note in the bottom there that is from usually the original owner who bought the chest. And that goes for mine. Both of my Gerstner chests have handwritten notes in there from the original owner. So it's very cool. Same with this. There's a signature in there. We'll show you that. I forget I forget offhand exactly who it was that inspected it, but he signed his name in there. So this is really to just kind of give you a close-up look of what the replica 200 chest looks like. I have filled it up with some of my Starrett tools, and we have a drawer here that's full of my granddad's tools there as well. And I think that that's one of the ways that I want to display some of my granddad's Starrett tools. It's tools that are necessarily used all the time. Maybe every now and then I pull one out, but putting it in the new Starrett chest, I think just kind of goes right along with where my granddad's tools probably should go. So anyway, we're gonna give you a little tour of the chest and show you what the drawers look like. I did want to mention the type of wood that the chest is made from. I have it written down here because I knew I wouldn't be able to remember when I got on camera, but it is called sapele, and that is a type of African mahogany that I am told is sustainably sourced from Africa, and that's what the chest is made from. It's supposed to be a very durable, hard wood that should, if taken care of properly, this should last for generations. So how about we give a little tour of the chest and you kind of see what the drawers look like, and I definitely want to show you the stamp in the bottom and all that good stuff. So we'll start off by talking about the latches here. Beautiful latches that are nickel coated. You can see it has a Gerstner in there. It's got the brass lock. It comes with the brass keys, which we have in the drawer there. And you have 4 total latches, including the lockable latch right there. And then the top handle is leather. We'll open her up. And the Starrett boxes were traditionally, they always came with the red felt. So of course the replica 200 is also going to have the red felt. And these are the card inserts that will come in the box right there. This is some info on the new tool chest. Here's the inspection card. So Steve Campbell from Gerstner is the one that inspected this, and his signature is inside the bottom of the box. So very cool, Steve. And these card inserts, just really good. Here's care instructions here. A little bit more. So Scott Campbell, he's the president of Gerstner. And then this is an info card. So there's the original building right there. Well, there's the original building. This is after they've added on to it. See, pretty cool. It's a great place to go and see. So looking in the top of the box, these are all my personal Starrett tools, and I use them all. They just look great inside there. They really do. I always love my planer and shaper gauge. This is the 599 Starrett. We've got our number 120 American-made dial calipers. These are the only calipers that are still American-made, is the Starrett number 120. So just a nice assortment of different tools. And since we're talking about Starrett and their history, the combination square here, this was Mr. Starrett's first patented tool that he invented right here. The combination square, a tool that many people use every single day. One of the things that I wanted to point out is the mirror itself here. All of your Gerstner chests, a true Gerstner will always have a mirror, and one of the differences between just the standard Gerstner chest and the Starrett chest is the orientation of that mirror there. So a Starrett box is going to be oriented in this square position here, and when you're looking at the standard Gerstner chest, it's oriented in a diamond pattern. So that's just one of the differences that you'll see between the Starrett model and the traditional Gerstner model there. So we're just going to work our way down, show you what I've got in the tool chest here, and we'll pull the drawers and take a look at them. So the first one here, I've got some of my gauges in there, our screw pitch gauges. And we're going to go ahead and pull this one out because I did want to look at the back there, and you can see the handwritten number. So this is 003, and I believe the 1 corresponds to the drawer number in which they're working on. Whenever they're building these chests, the person building them we'll take these drawers one at a time, and they have these like feeler gauges that they'll use to adjust the gap. They want to get the gap properly sized, so they'll pull the drawer and they go over to the belt sander and they'll do some careful dressing by hand on these belt sanders, and they'll get them so that they're fitted just the way they want them to fit there and have just enough room, you know, for the drawer slides. Going down to the next drawer, this one we have our number 706. These are the precision 1, 2, 3 blocks. These two right here being a matching set. But I've actually inspected all 4 of these. They're all 4 the same. They're all within 1/10 of each other, I'll tell you that. Coming over here to this side, I've got some of my punches over here. We got pin punches, center punches, spring-loaded punches there. And let's just pull and see what this, so that's drawer number 6. One down, I've got some of my number 98 levels on there. Another combination square set. If we go to the middle, these are perfect drawers for your 6-inch rules. So we've got various Starrett rules in there. Drawer number 3. The second drawer down here, these are some of my pitch mics. I have several of these, pretty much the whole series. So I just put 2 in here. These are some of the more common that I use on the more daily basis there. And then this is going to be our number 436 1-inch mic that I use all the time. And then there are the keys to the lock right there. I just put them in that drawer. Number 5. So as we get to this next drawer, the slender, the wide slender drawer, this is going to be Granddad's drawer right here. This is where his tools are. So let me show you what I've got in there. So these are all Granddad's tools, and you can tell that they were his by the initials JAB. All of Granddad's tools. Now there is one Starrett tool in there that did not belong to my granddad, but I felt that it was appropriate to go in there as well. And that is this combination square right here, which is also a Starrett. This was given to me by John Saunders. This belonged to his grandfather. And it was a gift from him whenever I was visiting John in his barn and we were looking at his granddad's tools. And I don't know if I asked him or if he offered anyway, but I came home with this combination square that belonged to his grandfather. So I just thought it was fitting, you know, to live in this drawer with my granddad's tools in here. This was in Granddad's toolbox as well. This is the 75th anniversary for Starrett, which was in 1955. That's pretty cool. Decimal equivalent chart, and then your tap drill size on the back. This particular mic right here, it's got the initials JAB, Granddad. So this mic has been very, very heavily used in our shop. My granddad, my dad, and myself, and I still use this mic today. It's been in many of the the YouTube videos, and I actually got to hand this mic over to Doug Starrett, at that time the president of Starrett, whenever we visited for our tour, and he enjoyed holding this in his hands and, you know, and touching it and talking to me about the history of this particular mic. And in fact, while we were there, we sent this over to the inspection department where they calibrate all the micrometers, and it was nearly spot on. I think it was like a 1/10 off, you know, so they made a very light adjustment on it, but you can see how worn it is. It's just a very well-used Starrett mic, and it's just a tool that I cherish having. So anyway, there's Granddad's drawer. Got some, you know, small combination squares there, some of his small hole gauges. So we'll work our way down to the last drawer, the bottom drawer there. Got the really cool Starrett tag mounted to the drawer. And this drawer I decided to go ahead and put some of my indicators in there, a little bit bigger. And so these are all my indicators that we use on the normal basis. These come out of the red cases that they come in. It's just the foam fits them perfectly, so I just set them down in there. And now I will say that there's a couple more tools in here that were Granddad's, and they're down here because they would not fit in the other drawer. This being the Starrett 196 back plunge indicator. This one was Granddad's here that he used. And also, let me reach in here and grab these guys, these toolmaker buttons. Now these were in my Granddad's toolbox, always have been. They do not have his initials on here, so I can't say for 100% certain that they were Granddad's, but they were in his toolbox, so I just consider those his. This is a tool that you really don't see anymore. You don't see people using. This is a little bit more of an old school tool, but look at the beautiful color case hardening on just the stand that holds the buttons there. So anyway, I wanted to put those in the box. We have his last word indicator as well. And this is the one that I actually sent up to Starrett for them to rebuild. This one was in a previous Tool Tuesday. This exact Starrett last word. So yeah, some of Granddad's tools are living down here as well, just like the snug. You can see the snug has got his initials on it right there, JAB. And then we have, you know, some of my other favorite tools in here. The Starrett number 670 ID attachments, the 671 right angle attachment, use those on dial indicators. And here is another tool that was Granddad's as well. These are the V blocks. I guess that's the number. It's been so long I don't remember. The 1452, the number 1452 V blocks. These have this rod that they kind of stay aligned with. A really nice set of V blocks that have always lived in my Granddad's toolbox that I think that I'm going to let live in our new Starrett box right there. So now that we've taken you through the whole toolbox there, showing you the tools that we're storing in there, we're going to go ahead and remove the lower drawer here, and we'll show you the stamp and the what would be considered the serial number in here. So this is what you do to any Gerstner chest, and then go ahead and pull the cover back, and there inside on the bottom you will see the stamp that's hand stamped, the model number, the 200 WCR, that's for Starrett, and then you can see sample number 3. So this is 3 of 3 samples that Gerstner has made. Now back here in this corner you'll see the Stephen Campbell, who did the inspection. It might be easier if we pull this drawer out too. And let me just pull this drawer out here. And I'm going to set it right here, nice and easy. And you might be able to see that a little bit better now in there. Yeah, that's looking good. So typically whenever you, if you find a Gerstner chest, this is exactly what you want to do. And the stamps have changed over the years. They use different stamps, and you'll see different numbers written in there. But so whoever ends up purchasing one of the 120 replicas, they will have a handwritten number in there that's going to be numbered 1 through 120. So that's pretty cool. So this is one of my other Gerstner chests right here. I bought this a few years ago. I believe it was in 2022 whenever we were traveling through Ohio. I found this in an antique mall up in Springfield, and we actually had a video earlier, I think it was a Tool Tuesday, showing this particular box. This was bought and owned by a a man, I believe it was Mr. Gillespie, I believe. In fact, it had some of his original paperwork in this box. They sold it that way, and I left it all in this one drawer right here. And yeah, there's his name, Robert E. Gillespie. I think it's Gillespie. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. But anyway, he was the original owner. See, this right here was from 1965. I don't know if that's how old the box is. But anyway, it's always nice to have a little bit of that stuff that belonged to the original owner. You know, it's kind of like it just goes with it. You know, you leave a few of those things in that box for the next owner to appreciate and help carry on the story of who owned this before. So again, these are heirloom. Hopefully these boxes will go to a loved one, a family member, a son, a daughter, somebody in the family. But sadly, they don't all end up in, you know, the hands of a family member. They go to an antique shop, and then other people like us find them and buy them and restore them and cherish them. And by the way, any Gerstner chest, Gerstner will restore for you. It has to be a genuine Gerstner box, but they will restore them. Or you can buy all the hardware and restore them yourself. That's always fun to do too as well. But we were going to show you the stamp inside this guy right here, so we'll go ahead and pull this drawer. This is my user toolbox. I use this toolbox every day. It's got a lot of my precision tools in it, and I have, you know, a lot of these drawers are specific. A lot of my thread pitch gauges, my screw pitch gauges go up here in this drawer. I took them out and put them in our new Starrett box, but I mean, you can see, so the previous owner, Mr. Gillespie, he had actually put the red felt in this box, which I thought was really cool. So he refelted it. But I'm gonna pull this one out just so you can see it a little bit better. You can see some more of my combination squares, and I got some of my tweezers in this drawer here for getting the metal splinters out of your hand. And if you pull the cover, yep, there's the stamp. Built by H. Gerstner and Sons, Dayton, Ohio. And then I've got my little signature over there. So July 26, 2022 is when we first shared that. I was thinking this box had the original note written in it, but it's not this one. It's my other Gerstner chest that is at the home shop still, the one that Gerstner restored for me. That one's got a handwritten note from the original owner in that one. But always a fun thing to do is to remove the drawers and find that cherished stamp that Gerstner puts in there on every one of their chests that they build. And one more little bit of information that I'll mention, this one right here. So whenever I found this and bought it, it was this complete set. It had the riser here. And I always dreamed, ever since my early days of machinist, I always dreamed how awesome it would be to have the entire set, the roller chest and everything. So once I bought this and brought it into the shop, I contacted Gerstner, and they built me the bottom roller chest. I cannot remember offhand what this model number is. We'll have it on the screen there for you. But now I have a complete set, complete roller set, and it's every drawer is full of tools. Many of them are Starrett tools that are in here. These are my gauge blocks right here. These are the 706 blocks that I have in the new Starrett tool chest. So anyway, I love having the complete set right now. This was a bucket list item for me, which I now have, and I'll enjoy having this for the rest of my life, as long as I'm around anyway. So guys, I think that's going to conclude our tour of the new replica Starrett number 200 WCR tool chest made by Gerstner. Again, I'm very honored to have one of 3 prototypes that they made for Starrett. And a big thank you again to Starrett for offering to have me join this collaboration with you guys. This is really cool. I'm very honored for that. I'm going to cherish this chest. I'm going to take care of it, and I'm going to enjoy having it. So I have to find a great place to put it and keep it out of the way so the cutting oil and the chips don't get slung all over it, but I think we can handle that. But if you guys are interested, again, if you're interested in buying the one of the 120 limited edition boxes, go to our website, abomb79.com. You click the link, it's going to take you right over to the landing page at Starrett, and that's where they are doing the pre-sale on these tool chests. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed sharing it with you, and I'm proud owner of another Gerstner chest. We'll see you guys on the next episode.